Hi, this is Heidi from Custom Tan. Just wanted to share with you some tips on how to prepare for a spray tan. Obviously the weather's getting a lot warmer and people are wanting to get out and have their skin exposed, and brown fat is better than white fat, as everybody keeps saying. So just wanted to take you through a couple of tips to help you prepare for when you go and have your spray tan appointment, just to make sure that you can maximize your base, which is your skin, before you go and have the application done. There's a number of things that you need to consider, and firstly, you should start to be making plans about 24 to 48 hours prior to your spray tan appointment. So during this time, any waxing needs to be done and any shaving. And the reason for that is that you want your pores to be closed when you have your spray tan. So make sure any waxing and any shaving is done 12 to 24 hours prior. It's also really important to make sure that when you have your appointment, you've exfoliated beforehand. So you've probably heard everybody say exfoliate, 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 and then afterwards moisturize, moisturize, moisturize. And I'll talk you through that in some more detail. But essentially, the way that the tanning process works is that the solution is sprayed onto the skin, and the chemical reaction, and I'm not going to go into too much detail to scare you here, but this is sort of spray tanning 101. What happens is that the solution reacts with the amino acids in the outer layer of the skin, and that's what forces the color change. So why it's really important to exfoliate is because the tan is only going to stay on the skin cells that have been sprayed. So everybody gets, a complete fresh new coat, new layer of skin cells every 4 to 6 weeks, and 90 to 99% of dust in the air is dead skin cells. So it's really important that you exfoliate beforehand. And I just wanted to show you a product that I found. It's made in Italy, and it's called a Magic Peeling Glove. And you might have heard of them. I think they've had a review in Harper's lately, and I think they're in Famous again next week. Basically, these little beauties, and you can buy them on my website, 2hourtan.com.au. But they're a natural fibre exfoliating mitt. And seriously, I have been in the tanning industry for years, and I thought that nothing removed DHA, which is a tanning ingredient. And I had some surgery recently, and what I did is I bought one of these gloves and trialed it, and I thought I'll see if I can actually get off the tan that I had on before. So anyway, I've soaked and made my skin, nice and moist, and have been in the shower for 5 minutes, and then just exfoliated and rubbed up and down my arms in this sort of motion, and I found that my tan just peeled off. Not only does this glove have benefits for self-tan remover, any excess tan or anything like that, but it's also supposed to be good for skin renewal, cellulite, stretch marks, bumps and grazes, particularly ingrown hairs too. So it's a bit of an investment. It's $49.95, but they are supposed to last 6 to 12 months, and I really think that this is a must-have for anybody's bathroom. So I used it once before my surgery, and my skin honestly has never been whiter because it got all of my tan off, but my skin was very, very smooth as well. So next time I had a spray tan, my skin was absolute best base possible because I had all the fresh skin cells. And that's my point about making sure that when you have your spray tan, you've done all your exfoliating beforehand, because the tan will only last as long as those skin cells stay on your body. So if you ever have anybody that says, oh, your tan is definitely going to last a week or 10 days or 3 months or anything like that, be very wary, because unless they know how your body replenishes your skin cells, and as I said, it takes 4 to 6 weeks for your skin to be completely renewed, then unless somebody knows how quickly your skin regenerates, they can't tell you how long the tan's going to last. With Custom Tan, our product, we say indicatively 7 to 10 days because it is using the highest grade European DHA, but it's essential that you do exfoliate really thoroughly prior, so you make sure that you prepare your skin with the best base possible. Okay, so you've done your waxing and shaving 12 to 24 hours prior, and you've made sure you've exfoliated, preferably using one of these Magic Peeling Gloves available from our website. If you can't get one of those, you can use a loofah or anything like that. I mean, these guys have sold 7 million worldwide. They've won awards in Geneva and Milan, and it's all natural. So honestly, I think it's the best thing to come out of Italy since Dolce & Gabbana or Ferrari, or depending on your liking. But they're really a worthwhile investment. So anyway, so your exfoliating's done. What you then want to do when you go for your appointment is be aware of the fact that you're having something applied to your skin. So the more clothing you wear, obviously, the less tan that you're going to have. So it depends on a level of comfort. And, you know, I've got tens and tens of technicians, and I've got many clients, and I find that most of the time clients will come in a black G-string and they're happy to be tanned in that. So it's a comfort factor though. If you're breastfeeding, ask your technician if they've got any nipple shields that you can use to cover up, because you don't want any solution going in your newborn's mouth. But most people will find that they'll just spray in a G-string. It depends on what you're comfortable in though. People often ask me, well, if you have disposable G-strings and disposable bras. The short answer for that is I don't use them. And the reason is that they're made in China, they're all one size, and their G-strings are extremely high cut. So as soon as you add a little bit of air to a paper G-string that is extremely high cut, you may as well not be wearing one anyway. So I think that they're completely useless, and prefer not to use them. Also, wear your own underwear and wear something that you're happy to have a little bit of bronzer on. But again, you know, make sure you're comfortable. The other thing is, I'll be really wary of any salons that get you to wear what's called sticky feet. So basically it's like either a thong or a plastic coating that you put on the foot to make sure that no solution gets stuck on your feet. The way that I train my technicians is to always use a towel, a fresh towel for every client. So there should be no need for you to be standing in anybody else's solution. So just like when I go and get waxed, I don't want to be laying on somebody else's towel. Similarly, I won't have my clients stand on somebody else's towel. So always make sure that they're not getting you to wear sticky feet, that in fact you are standing on a fresh towel. Also be careful of anyone who makes you add moisturiser. In my opinion, adding moisturiser is a really big no-no. When you go for your tan, you want to make sure you've got no oils, no perfumes, no makeups, no moisturisers, anything that's going to act as a barrier for the tan to get onto your skin. So remember that the way that the solution works is it reacts with the amino acids in your skin. So any moisturisers, etc., act as are a barrier, so they restrict the tan from penetrating through. Similarly, if you have a spray tan technician applying moisturiser to you, my really strong feel on that is that they're only doing that because they're not confident with their own skills. Really, they should know how to apply tan perfectly and flawlessly, like we learn in the flawless application workshops that Custom Tan run. So there is no need to add that barrier. In my mind, and the way that I liken it when I do my spray tan workshops, is that adding moisturiser prior to a spray tan is a bit like a wax technician applying a template or a guide for a wax job. So I'd be very concerned with the level of technique if a technician can't be confident that they can spray you professionally without the use of a moisturiser. So we've talked through no waxing or shaving within 24 to 48 hours, and then making sure you've exfoliated, free of moisturiser and oils and anything that acts as a barrier, and then making sure that you spray in something that's comfortable and dark and something that you're happy to wear to have your spray tan in. Now when you leave after your spray tan, if you have had a custom tan or if you have had a spray tan from somebody who does a really good job, you should be dry and dressed in about 5 minutes. Now you feel like you've got something on your skin, so it's sort of like a makeup, but you should not feel wet and sticky. You should not be dripping or anything like that. If when you have your application you see a lot of beading, your technician is putting too much solution on you. 3 coats or anything more than that is completely excessive. Remember, as I said before, the way the tanning process works is the solution reacts with the amino acids in your skin. So once the skin's covered, the skin's covered. There's only going to be tan buildup or excessive waste, which is either no good for the technician because they're wasting profit, or it's going all over the floor, which is why they may be getting you to wear sticky feet. So less is not more. So once you've had your application done, you want to make sure that you've got clothing with you that's appropriate to go home. So I always suggest that people don't wear a bra, make sure they've got loose fitting dark clothing, and just be aware that sometimes some of the natural fabrics such as wool and silk can hold the DHA in it and make it difficult to remove. So if you're having a 2-hour tan, you can wash your tan off after 2 hours, which is a rapid tan. Custom Tan provide this, or you may need to leave it on for 8 hours if you are having a longer tan. But however long you keep the solution on your skin, make sure that you've got really loose fitting dark clothing so you're comfortable for your spray tan. The colour that you see after the spray tan is the bronzer. So in Australia we spray in colour. Often in the States they'll spray in clear. What's really important to remember is that the colour that you see on your skin is not the colour of the tan. The colour of the tan develops over time. So either after 2 hours with a rapid tan or after 8 hours with a regular tan. The bronzer has no bearing on the colour of your skin. The chemical reaction with the amino acids, which forces a colour change, is the true colour. So don't think that the colour that you're being sprayed in is the colour that the tan's going to be. It has nothing to do with it, and it really irritates me to see all these people put up on YouTube, oh wow, someone's had a spray tan and then look at my tan line. It's got nothing to do with it. You could spray somebody in hot pink and it makes no difference. The tanning ingredient DHA is clear, so keep in mind that the colour of the bronzer has nothing to do with the colour of the tan. That will come. And the way I like to explain it is, if you take an apple and you cut it and you leave it on the bench, the colour change and how you see the apple go brown, that's a similar chemical reaction with the apple as what the DHA in the tanning solution has in your skin. So the true colour is seen at the end of the tanning process period. Then once you've had your tan, it's really important that you look after it. So there's a few things you need to avoid, and particularly anything that's going to cause your skin to replenish itself. So that's where, when I talked about before, everyone says moisturise, moisturise, moisturise. The tan is only going to last on your skin for as long as those skin cells do. So what you need to do is add moisture to that skin so it doesn't need to shed and it's not replenishing itself. Custom Tan sells a tan extender, which can be either used to add colour to your tan and intensity, or you can use it alone to build a gradual tan. So you're moisturising, moisturising, moisturising after your shower. You need to be really careful of a couple of things, and you know, so many technicians don't know this, and it's just crazy, and I don't understand why. You need to be washing in a soap that has no sodium lauryl sulfate. So sodium lauryl or sodium laureth, if you Google SLS, it'll come up. Basically, it's a caking agent. It makes things foam. So it's used in a lot of cheap shampoos and conditioners and a lot of soaps and body washes. If you wash in a soap that does have sodium lauryl sulfate, it's a stripping agent. So it'll strip away your tan. It won't be really dramatic like, say, putting nail polish remover on nail polish, but it will strip away and it'll cause your skin to dry out and replenish itself. SLS was actually developed, I think in about the 1920s or whatever, when the war came and soap was expensive, so they used SLS instead, and it's actually used to strip engines. So I mean, imagine what it does to your skin. So it's really important that you're washing in a soap that has no SLS. Okay, so I sell these soaps, which I don't know how well you can see it, but it's a goat's milk and honey soap. They contain no sodium lauryl sulfate, and they've got a whole lot of ingredients that are pure and help maintain the life of the tan. So washing in a soap with no sodium lauryl sulfate, avoiding activities that cause your skin to replenish itself, so hot spas, baths, swimming, chlorinated pools or anything like that, and then making sure you're using a custom tan extender to extend the life of the tan afterwards. If you do this, you should really get 7 to 10 days out of your tan, depending on how quickly your skin replenishes itself. But hopefully this information has given you a bit of a guide as to how you can prepare your skin for the best base possible, and then how long you can maintain your tan afterwards. So happy tanning, and thanks for watching.